I'd like to start by saying Hitman is a licensed work by IOI Interactive and published by Square Enix. All rights to this work and the footage shown in this video are owned by IOI Interactive and Square Enix, and are only used by Gamer on a Budget for review and criticism under fair use. Hitman 2016. I got a lot to say about this game and franchise. To start, I'm a huge Hitman fan, and my favorite game in the franchise is Hitman Blood Money. If you haven't played any Hitman games, the general gist is this. You play as Agent 47, a professional hitman with exceptional abilities to perform his job and excellent training. While 47's backstory and the overall plot change from title to title, the general formula is the same, as you play through a story level by level, taking down the target or targets associated with those locations as you go. You may have many options to help get this done. For example, you can disguise yourself as an employee of the location, or a guest, or maybe sneaking through the back, or just run in and kill everybody. These games really focus on giving you options in how you go about eliminating your targets and rewarding you for being more professional and less sloppy. Hitman Absolution remains to be my least favorite title in the series, mainly due to its unthrilling and confusing storyline, plus its design and lack of options. It had its fun parts, but stacking it up to Hitman Blood Money, or the new release made in 2016, it's pretty dull. Unlike Absolution, I feel the new release Hitman has made a lot more and better qualities that make it good, so let's talk about that. Hitman is an episodic stealth video game that revolves around Agent 47, a professional killer with a dark past and a very demanding job. Right from the start, this game takes the idea of a tutorial literally, with 3 tutorial missions to show you the features and controls of this game. The levels are where all the gameplay takes place, as you're given an expansive map to explore and collaborate with. My first good point for this game goes to its development of opportunities and time movement in the levels. A lot of NPCs in the levels have certain routes timed out for them to go certain places. For example, an NPC may have a meeting with your target. Wait a bit, they'll meet up and go somewhere private, where a good killing opportunity may present itself. There's a lot of other ones, but this movement of time adds to the overall level design, which in itself is immersive and fun. The second point for this game is the mission planning. It's a small point, so I won't spend a lot of time on it, but when you start a mission, of course you get to pick your weapons, but you also get to pick a variety of tools and even an item to be smuggled in waiting for you. As well as my favorite, new starting locations that put you in the environment, sometimes even with the disguise already on. Next is the online feature, and let me make this clear, I will be talking much more about online features and why this game sucks up next. But first is the online feature of making your own contracts. This feature is not only fun to make ridiculously hard tasks to challenge people, or build your own story if you're the creative type, but it also provides you with a freeform mode, where you can't fail the mission unless you're killed. What can I say? It's fun to screw around. Finally is a thing that goes back to the Hitman series as a whole. That's that this title takes the Hitman series in a new direction and gives it its own story and starting point, completely free of Absolution or other titles as far as I can tell. It may sound daunting to have a series revamp, but in my opinion, it was the perfect time for Hitman. Just because Absolution had the storyline in a weird place, and also had 47 acting really far out of character, but in this one, 47's back to being cold and calculated. Alright, I could say more about the small features that I like in this game, but it's time to move on to why it kind of sucks. So to start, this game only has 6 levels and 12 targets, if you have the base game. And you could argue that there's an unlimited number of targets with online play and the contracts other people make, but some people still don't have online play. And if you don't have online play, then your frustrations with this game are going to make it borderline unplayable. To start, the entire game is technically online, and while you can play it offline, you won't be getting new tools, weapons, or starting locations for all your work and progress. And even if you are playing online, Hitman has a system of completing different assassination opportunities, finding different things, and being more professional in order to give you points towards unlockables. While I'm sure some people were able to get all their favorite toys and gadgets in just a couple runs, this will most likely result in you replaying the level 10 or more times to do all the different little things in your hunt for points. It's rewarding, but it's also a serious grind. If you don't mind either of those problems though, then you probably won't mind the many times you find yourself glitching into NPCs or the ridiculous suspicious feature, where if you perform certain actions that in real life nobody would probably look twice to, people lose their minds. This could literally be you stood too close to them. Then they start screaming at you, chasing you, and sometimes shooting you. And it's convenient that you can only stand there, not saying anything. The entire scene is unrealistic and immersion breaking. Another immersion breaking and frustrating thing this game provides is its spotty control system that is unforgiving and can have you performing certain actions that will get you in trouble and you didn't want to do in the first place. Lastly is the way Hitman tried to add longevity to this game by giving you exclusive targets. Sure, it kinda works, but if you're not checking in at the right time to do these, then you can miss them indefinitely. And as far as I know, you can't play them after they expire. But the only thing exclusive targets essentially are is a new NPC to kill in one of the 6 levels. It kinda works counterproductive to adding longevity, and unfortunately it and the rest of the online play is featured in this game. In the end, Hitman 2016 is probably my second favorite release in the franchise, and unfortunately, it's not very good. I mean, it's not bad. It's an amazing simulation of what being a professional killer would be like, but to get good at this game, you must play level by level, repeatedly studying the NPCs and the opportunities available. It does great to revamp the Hitman franchise with an interesting new story, and later this year, Hitman 2, which is another episodic release, will be finished. It's currently being released in chapters. I believe Hitman 2 will continue this new story and hopefully provide us with some solutions to the problems this release had. My final score for this game is $20.47, which is not good. I love this franchise and hate giving it a low score, but the fact is there's only 6 missions plus online. Online play isn't what Hitman is known for, and this version isn't very thrilling, because it's essentially just single player but your score is shared. Amazon scores this game as $49.90 for just the base game, and $46.49 for the definitive edition, which has more than the base game, so that doesn't make any sense. And if I were you, I wouldn't put a green light on either of them. Thanks for watching. If you agreed with me, put a hit on that like button. If you disagreed, you can whack or pop or shoot that dislike button. This was Gamer on a Budget with your official review of Hitman 2016. 447 comes from me. I'm gonna fake my own death.